Today we are working on the Nissan flavored Lego kit, the spaghetti part of it. When Matt made this jumper harness, he did a pretty goddamn good job. Like, it's very creative and like very cool as a jumper harness. When I went through it the second time to correct some things, most of it was right except this fuel pump relay, which I took the time to figure out what was wrong. There's 1, 3, 2, and 5, right? You can see how it relates to this. Well, the short end of it is this. This is here, this is here, and this is here. So what was happening before is I was just jumping it so that way the fuel pump was constantly grounded, which if you know that's very dangerous. If the engine shuts off, the fuel pump will still run. That's not good. So I want the stock function, so I'm gonna fix it. So the harness is corrected. Fix it. There should be a working fuel relay now with a 240SX relay. Should work. Put some lume on it from a 350Z headlight harness. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit there. I ran out. I need more. I've learned not to put so much duct tape. I know why now. Also, I made a better schematic for this harness, this entire jumper kit. So I'm gonna redo this in a nice thing to read, and then put it on the internet for everybody, so it's easier to do this type of swap, and at least the functions of each wire will actually be displayed, versus whoever wrote the other one on the Club S12 was like schizophrenic or something. No offense, I mean it worked, but it was just hard to figure out, whereas this should be like a flashcard basically. Alright, time to test the fuel circuit relay. Hopefully this works. Moment of truth, that'd be so cool if it worked. Okay, maybe the relay's bad. Let me try this other one. Alright, new relay's in. Let's see if it works. If not, then I'm gonna have to go to the drawing board. So the fuel pump's not priming, so there's definitely something wrong. We can use the jumper to test it and see if I can get a jump. Alright, so based on the schematic I made earlier, it's supposed to be being controlled by the ECU, but for some reason it's not working. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ground 3 to 5, and that should make the fuel pump just start. This should be the fuel pump hardwired if I did everything right. So that's correct. So I bet you it's something on the car, like on the chassis side. So I confirmed that the relays were good, and then I referenced the swap guide again and consulted my homie Steven Drifts, and I think I figured out the mistakes. Before I explain it, let me see if it actually works. Moment of truth, round 2. Let's see if our efforts will be rewarded. Cross your dicks. Figured it out. Shout out Steven Drifts once again for saving my ass from this shit. I'll explain to you guys shortly what the mistake is I made. Also, Matt, I know why you made that mistake too. I can see why you made the mistake. I can see why my idiocy did not help you during that process, dude. Alright, so I owe you guys an explanation on what worked, what happened. So, as you can see, this has been modified after talking to Steven Drift. So, the confusion was on the front of the relay. See how is that schematic where it shows 1, 3, 2, and 5? It shows how they're related, they're oriented, where 1 and 2 are the control, and 3 and 5 are the load side, or like where it actually switches. That's what it looks like. So what happened is, assumed that's what this was. It was directly that. Hi, kitty. When reality is that inside of this, I can't even get it on camera. You can kind of see it on the bottom right. You can see the 3. See that? I don't know if you can see it, but the point is they're actually marked inside of there. That's the correct orientation. So this is actually 1, 2, 3, and 5, where you can see I had it here 1, 3, 2, and 5. So you can see where I made the modification and then showed where the relationship actually is. So after that corrected, then the fuel pump circuit actually operates like OEM, like S13 OEM fuel pump circuits. That's the solution to it. I'm gonna make like a really nice, pretty, redo all this all nice and pretty for you guys, and just give it to you guys for Christmas. this guide itself is very disorganized. I'm sure, and people have made it work. I mean, I've kind of made it work, Matt kind of made it work. It's just very confusing and disorganized. You don't really know why you're doing what you're doing. So I want to make a little bit more simplified. But also, on the S12, there's something really confusing about the way the fuel pump is wired stock. This black and red line is fused power, and it comes to the fuel pump and it powers the fuel pump, right? And then it comes off this wire, this black wire, but in some cars that wire is white. So what the fuck? And it's also insulated. See, this shit has this insulation, and then it comes off right here. That can be used to get the grounding signal to make the fuel pump work. That's what mine's currently doing. This could also just be an extra ground if you just need to ever just ground the fuel pump to make it work in case your relay dies. But that's super fucking confusing and unnecessary. It's a shielded wire, but it just makes things really confusing on the actual harness itself, because this wire is like not colored. It's like this weird off color. See, it's right here, look. See, this is that shielded wire, that outside shielded wire. It goes and see, so you can see where it's shielded. It goes into here, and then the shielding turns into this wire. Like, what the fuck, dude? But anyways, so that's the confusion. But all you need to know, I'll make the schematic that makes it all simple, because it's super confusing. Well, it's not super confusing, it's somewhat confusing. I'll make it simple as I can, so that way that resource is available to you. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully the next video will have some more driving.